morning, everyone. Good morning. My talk this morning is called Thankful, and this is our Thanksgiving celebration day. So, of course, I had to speak about giving thanks. And we want to be thankful for each other, of course, the food we get to eat, the hands that prepared the food, and, of course, everyone who participated in us being able to receive the food. And I'm talking about from the farmers and ranchers to everybody out there, that the guy who drove the truck or delivered the food or whatever. When you see the phenomenon of all the people involved, for us to be able to enjoy this time together, it's just amazing, isn't it? Yeah. And there's so much to be thankful for. Yeah. And so, my question today is being thankful the same as being grateful or having gratitude? And most people don't even think about that, because we'll say, oh, I thank you for this, or we'll say, oh, I've got so much gratitude, or, or what's the other word? Grateful. I'm so grateful. And when you think about those words, they each are the feelings that we have and the statement of our beingness, actually, because those feelings that we share and that well up within us are God's gifts that we have, that we get the ability to share with each other. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Being thankful, though, is a feeling that comes from being grateful. And being grateful is actually the expression of gratitude, according to definitions. But the revealing word, Charles Filmer wrote down some of these words, and we're going to look at that today, too. So, gratitude. All metaphysicians, which means us, because we look at things beyond the physical. That's what metaphysicians mean. Have found by experience that being thankful for what they have increases the inflow. Gratitude is a great mind magnet, and when it is expressed from the spiritual standpoint, it is powerfully increased. So we know this. We know that if we give thanks for something, then it seems like more good shows up. And we need to think about that and really the way we need to think about it is when we pray. Because we don't always pray thinking that we're not going to get our prayer answered. And when our prayer isn't answered, then we're disappointed or discouraged. But when we come to prayer with gratitude in our hearts, being grateful for what we have, it changes our whole approach. And it makes us be more thankful of what we do have. And we're going to explore more about that in a minute. But we know that the blessings will increase when we give thanks for something. We know this. And that's how actually the blessing, saying the grace at the table, has its origin in this idea of the power of increase through giving thanks. That's why we say grace before a meal. And it started even back when people didn't have much. I mean, most people that lived through the Depression, let's say, when they didn't hardly have anything to eat, or they made the best of what they had, they still said grace, because they knew by saying grace that more was going to come to them, or that their supply was not cut off. And that's what we have to think about. The unlimitedness of God shows up when we can really feel gratitude within ourselves. And it's proven. And the more we express gratitude and the more we express giving thanks, allows us to be more in the flow of that idea of prosperity, or just the idea of God's good coming to us. And it's important because we need to stay centered on that praise energy, I call it, because that's what it is. When we give thanks, when we feel gratitude, we are feeling this praise energy that is the essence of God. And I mean, when you think about God, I hope it puts a smile on your face. I hope you feel that energy within you, because that's what it's all about. It's all about allowing yourself to be in that place. And that praise energy can change our thoughts, words, and actions, because we are focused in on what the essence of God is within us. And that's how we want to live. We don't want to live in lack. We don't want to sit there and think, oh, well, we had this beautiful meal, but I didn't get whatever it was you wanted today. You know what I'm saying? No, we have to be grateful for everything that shows up. And when we first came here, they said, oh, we have to have our list, and everybody has to sign up for a certain thing. And I said, no, I don't have to have a list of all these ingredients, all these foods, because that's my choice. I want people to feel like they can bring whatever they want to bring. You know, and we have had some years where we've had, 3 containers of green bean casserole. Who cares, you know? I mean, really, we're living in the abundance of the universe in that moment. And we have to be grateful for the things that we have and the things that, even if you feel like you're lacking something, are you really lacking something? And if you feel that way, go get it. Go get it for yourself. Because that's a cool thing about living in the United States. We can go get anything we want anytime we want. But all of that is living from the capital T truth. And it does go back to the idea of prayer and saying grace. If we are ever asked to pray, we have to stop and take a breath and give thanks for the awareness of knowing that the Christ dwells within us, that God is active in our lives, and your prayer will truly come from within and be perfect. How many people get super nervous when somebody says, well, will you pray with me? Will you pray for me? Yeah. It's a natural thing to feel that way. I mean, when we worked at Silent Unity, I know at first, when that phone would ring and I would answer the call, I mean, I had to take a breath and go, it's not I, but Christ within doing the work. And the minute I did that, then it was like, okay, I could do this. And the connection that we make in that moment is giving thanks to God that we are activating that Christ within us and we are able to show up. And show up in a way that isn't going, oh gosh, you had to have a knee replacement? Well, I've had both of my knees done, and my great aunt had hers done, and Susie over here had hers, but no, she had an infection, so she had. Do you see what I'm saying? We don't go to prayer that way. We go to prayer with thanksgiving. Wow, you're walking great. You're doing well. You're here today. Yes, that's where we want to be. I say it's a little bit of a cheerleading thing going on, but that's okay. But it's important not to be fearful of praying or giving thanks. And thanking everything in your life is such a great thing. This week, because of this message too, I really have tried to be hyper-focused about every little thing saying thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, from the cold weather to the nice weather to the, grass looking like it's hibernating. All of these things I give thanks for, though, because I know that it makes a difference. I know that it's activating something within me that goes out into the universe. It's like love, really. Giving thanks and love work together. And so, if we know this, then we know that our prayers can be answered. Now, they might not be answered in the exact way that you want them answered, but they will be answered. And we have to have that confidence and knowing that God is with us, that God is within us, and the prayer is going to be answered. It makes a huge difference when we use that praise energy in a prayer. We do not need to focus on the condition. We only need to focus on the capital T truth, which is that we are sacred beings capable of having perfect health, prosperity, and abundant outcomes for all our needs. All of our needs. We don't need to stress about anything. We can live from this truth, this realization that giving thanks opens up for us a new vision, a new way of seeing things. And we have to keep it in the forefront of our minds. Because, like I said, this week I really was hyper-vigilant about trying to give thanks for every little thing. But do we do this every day? It's hard, isn't it, sometimes? It's hard to sit there and think, oh, I forgot to thank God for anything in my life today. But you know what? The minute you have that realization, you flip the switch. So the next time you will give thanks more and more, and you will be grateful. And the little things won't bother you as much, or the idea of feeling lack. Now, like anything in unity, we always say unity is practical Christianity, because we look at it like we have to practice it. Like we have to bring forth that idea of truth and know that it takes practice. So that's all we have to tell ourselves. We don't have to be perfect about this. We just have to practice. And it's easy to do once we come to that realization. Now, from the Revealing Word, Bilma wrote, Thanksgiving is rendering our grateful thoughts to God for God's manifold blessings. That's easy to do, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And if we just think about, I love that line, rendering our grateful thoughts. rendering our grateful thoughts. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's like laying down a smorgasbord of thanks for God. And if we do that, our thoughts are aligned with capital T truth, with God. So what unfolds from there has got to be the same. Our words, our actions, it's going to be different. It's going to be from that place of grace and godliness, let's say. And, you know, what it also does is it clears our minds of any lack. And it puts us in alignment with others. It puts us in alignment of being able to lift other people up. And when we see somebody and they start telling us something, we find that little ounce of good. And we give thanks for that for them. You know, that little ounce of good is in every single situation. And when we find that little nugget, then guess what? If we can recognize it, so can they. And that's practical Christianity. That's going out and living from that truth that we know. And that makes a difference for other people's lives too. And it increases the outflow in our lives. And when we think about prosperity, we usually think about money or all the things we can get. But prosperity is also the idea that giving thanks means that we're going to have more to be thankful for. That more is going to be in our lives that is good. Because true prosperity is God's good. And being willing to accept that good. And if we can't accept that good, then we have to figure out from within ourselves, why are we not in that state of mind that we can say, this is good. And this is good for not only me, but good for everybody else. Because we're sharing in this energy. From Jesus Christ Heals, Fillmore wrote, let your words of praise and thanksgiving be to spirit, and the increase will be even greater than when they are addressed to man. So when you do something and somebody says, thank you for doing that, thank you for bringing that, thank you for all you do, it makes you feel good, right? Absolutely. But we don't always soak it in. But if we thought about that person being the expression of God on this earth, and God was saying that to you, it would change how you feel, wouldn't it? I mean, I get goosebumps right now thinking about it. Yeah. It would change how you feel. And if you look at another person and behold the Christ within them, then you are seeing that expression of God in that moment. You are accepting that thanks in a whole new way. And it's like you elevate your consciousness to a whole new level because you are feeling it. You are feeling the presence of God. And that's really what being thankful and giving thanks is all about. Being in that mindset. So, Fillmore goes on with this. The resources of spirit are beyond our highest flight of imagination. Now, whatever you can imagine, it's beyond that. Beyond that. Yes. We can praise a weak body into strength, a fearful heart into peace and trust, shattered nerves into poise and power. And we do that by affirming the truth of who we are, by praying ourselves up. Yeah. We always say we're praying for other people or with other people, but we have to pray ourselves up too. We have to think about whatever it is within us that needs lifted up to that level of oneness with God. And God, if God's all good and everything that's happening within you is God in expression, then we can bring that forth. We don't have to let the human condition take us down the rabbit hole, do we? No. Now, the key is that there is always the capital T truth, which is perfection. And we strive for that perfection. Do we always get it? No. And do we get discouraged sometimes? Yeah, because we're human beings on this earth, and there's so much there. And we go to a doctor, and we get a diagnosis, or they tell us there's nothing we can do. You know, we'll send you home. No, you have to tell yourself, it's my choice. I get to decide. I get to say whether or not I'm going to heal quickly, or whether or not I'm going to just check out. You know, it is up to us. And we are the ones who have control over ourselves. And every situation. And I think we can all agree, our hearts are always grateful when our prayers are answered, aren't they? That's true. Yeah. So when our prayers are not answered in the manner in which we think, it's time to stop and give thanks. Now, a lot of people say, give thanks. Give thanks for what? My prayer wasn't answered. But if you don't give thanks, guess what? Your prayer's never going to be answered. You're going to be falling short every step you take from there on out, because you can't hold the idea that you can be blessed, that you deserve the thanks, that you deserve the good to come to you. And if you think that your prayer's not answered, it might not be answered in the way your mind is thinking. Right. But capital T Truth and God, they've got the good coming. Right. If we stay open and receptive to receiving that good. It goes back to saying, if God's standing in front of you and you're praying to God and God says, okay, and you sit there and go, where's the answer? But if you know it's God, you're not going to do that, are you? Nope. No, you're not. You're showing the super utmost respect and going, okay. You said yeah. I saw you shake your head, God. So that means it's coming, right? Yeah, we have to do that. We have to do that with our own lives, because guess what? It's going to show up. Some way or another, this good is going to come, and it might not be exactly the way we think it should be, but it is going to come. Because God is good. That's right. So good. So in the midst of God, we find the peace that passes understanding. We find the love we need to move gently in the right direction, and we find the answers to our prayers in the midst of God. That's all we have to remember. Oh yeah, I'm giving thanks to God. God's giving thanks to me. When I give thanks to somebody else, it's God's essence giving thanks. And when somebody gives thanks to me, it's God's essence giving me thanks. And wow, doesn't that feel like a better gift? Yes. Doesn't that sound like a better thank you? Mm-hmm. So, it's hard to do this sometimes, though. So how does this work? And I got 2 little examples for you today. Say the first one is that you want a new job, okay? Everybody does this, right? I don't know why, but static sound. Oh, it could be my mic going down. Okay. So you had the same job, and you've had this job forever, and you decide you dislike this job so much. You are sick and tired of everybody there except for maybe one person. But you're sick and tired of everybody. Your bosses, and that person never works, and you think you need a new job. You just gotta have a new job. And so what happens? You finally quit, don't you? I'll show them. I'll just quit. And then you go get your new job. And everything's great. You're so happy. You have this new job. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're working away. Yeah, that boss is not nice. And those people, and they never do their job. You're back to being so unhappy again. You dislike your job so much. And you're thinking, I am back in the same situation. Why is this happening again? Well, guess what? It's happening again because you're making it happen again. The answer is you must give thanks for what you have and change your thoughts, words, and actions about the first job before you can get a better job. We must find little things to be grateful for in our current position, or it will follow us to our next position.
That's true.
It doesn't have anything to do with all these people out here that you don't like or that are irritating you or saying things. No, your job is to rise above and say, I'm going to do my job and I'm going to be happy and I'm going to find those little things. And that person that's irritating, look at them and maybe you like their shirt today. Oh, I like that person's shirt today. Okay, I can live with you today. But you start like that because eventually it's going to make a big difference in your day-to-day living. Nobody wants to be miserable. Nobody wants to be in a job that they don't like or around people that they don't like. But you do these little baby steps of being grateful for little things, and it starts changing everything. And you know what I have found too? Some people that change like that and start seeing the good in every single person and even their boss end up liking where they're working. And they end up getting promoted. And they end up becoming the boss. Because guess what? All that other stuff will dissipate away. Because now you're living in the good. And you're grateful. And you're thankful for every little thing. And none of that is bothering you anymore. Isn't that beautiful? Amen. And that's where we want to live. Because gratitude and giving thanks changes you, not them. It changes you and it allows you to see see the good that is there all the time. It changes your perception. The increase in the good will show up. Now, another one you might be thinking about is that your car. Another example is your car. Okay? Some people, their car might not be the best car in the world. But guess what? You keep saying that car's a piece of junk, or that car doesn't get me where I need to go, or I was on the side of the road with my car again, whatever it is, guess what? You're never going to get a different car. You're going to end up with the same kind of car because you're not appreciating and giving thanks for what you have. So whatever, your car could be sitting in the driveway dead as a doornail. Go out there and love that car up. I'm not kidding you. Go out there and sit in that car and find good things about that car. My minivan before this one, I had a car in between, but the minivan before this one, the headliner was falling down. And I kept going, I can't stand this headliner. This is driving me crazy. It's starting to fall down. But I had all these little decorative pins, and I went in and started pushing those pins in there, and they were little buttons, and I put them all on top of the minivan. And then I said, oh, well, this isn't so bad. It's staying up with it. Okay, well, I can live with this. But you have to find the good. And the minute I started accepting that minivan and not caring about the headliner falling down, Reverend Warren says to me, oh, they got good deals on new cars. We're going to get a new car. I was like, what? Now I'm thankful for this car. Right. It's done well. It was like 200,000 miles or something. I don't know. But the thing about it is, that's what you have to do. Like I said, even if it's just sitting there, go out there and love it up. Give it a big hug. Whatever you have to do to know that it is taking you to all these places with confidence, and it's gotten you where you need to go. The minute you start doing that, you'll be surprised. I mean, I've known people that have been gifted a car from somebody after that. I mean, somebody just said, oh, I don't need this car anymore. You can have this car. And they're like, what? But it can show up any old way. You never know. But that's what being grateful does. Because, see, so many people put things down thinking that the next thing will be better. And that's what you're searching for. You sit there and say, I got to do this because it's going to be better. But no, it doesn't work that way. Whatever we negate will continue to negate us. Whatever we praise will continue to bless us. We have to praise everything in our lives. From our shoes to the top of our head, our hair, everything. It makes a difference. The minute you start negating something, forget it. But that is how, when you know that gratitude is showing up, that gratitude is really showing up when you start seeing the results of you being grateful for things. And gratitude, Fillmore defines as this: gratitude and thanksgiving are both necessary in demonstrating prosperity through divine law. Now remember, I told you, prosperity isn't just money. Prosperity is the good that is waiting for you. And so, when you are truly expressing gratitude and thanksgiving, the good is going to show up in tenfold. It's going to be blessing you left and right. And that's how it works. Be grateful to God and thankful to the friends whom God uses to supply you. Because that's the other thing. You never know what the next person is that's going to bless you. You never know. We've had random things show up in the mail that we were like, wow, I didn't even know that person. But they blessed us. They blessed the church. They blessed us. Different things will happen like that, and you have to be in that state of mind of being grateful, of having gratitude for all that you have, all that you do. November is the month of release and giving thanks because of Thanksgiving. And it is a month of clearing out the barriers in our minds, bodies, and hearts so that we may not only receive the good, but be grateful for every bit of it. And giving thanks is such a powerful praise energy that we can use every minute of our lives. Getting up in the morning, being able to put on our own shoes and socks, being able to, sometimes I have to remind myself I give praise for the boys. I mean, even when they're too loud in the car, I just like, okay, I'm grateful for you being here, but you really got to tone it down instead of getting mad, because, it can happen. But it does make a difference. It makes a difference on how you approach it and how it's coming to you. And when we are in that place, we're going to see more of God's good manifest in our lives. Are you ready to see more good manifest in your life?
Yes.
Are you? I hope so. Because all we have to do is give thanks. And so today, and I'll let somebody pass these out when we're doing the offertory, but I made you each a little thank you card. And it has a Bible verse in there too. And I want everybody to have one because I am really, sincerely, from my heart, grateful for each and every one of you. Because you make a difference in this church, you make a difference in my life. And I know that you go out and tell other people about Unique Church Rockdale and about Reverend Warren and I am grateful. I am so grateful for you. So I want you to take that blessing with you today. I really want you to know from my heart, I'm thankful for each of you. Thank you for being here today. That was fun. Okay. My song is a song I used a few years back, but the tricky part about this song is it's the Thanksgiving song, if you haven't seen it. Watch the items in the song, because those are the lyrics, if you remember.